I got the Kingbull e-bike here today. It is a fat tire e-bike. This is one of the better looking e-bikes I've ridden. We got a full suspension, front suspension, rear suspension. Let's see how it does. So let's talk about the all-terrain Softail electric rover from Kingbull. This is a solid looking bike. We've got a full suspension, some fat tires. This thing is made to be able to go off-road, but also you can ride this thing on concrete as well. Now, I put this thing together. It took me about 50 minutes, and it was a slightly more involved than most e-bikes that I have to put together. You know, I can get most of them put together in a little over a half an hour. This one just had some little extra things you had to do to kind of get the handlebars on, working with the suspension and things like that. Not difficult, but just slightly more involved. If you've never put one of these things together, I would say give yourself about an hour's worth of time and you should be good. All right, so first off, I really like the design and look of this bike. And I don't think that's something you can really kind of just brush aside. It's a sharp looking bike. They did a nice job of hiding the battery in the down tube, which I like. The color scheme is good. The tires are big and they're kind of fun with that aggressive lettering on the sides, the white lettering. You got the reflective tape. This is a solid bike, and for $1,200, it has some features that you're not going to get on other bikes at that price point, right? The full suspension, for starters, the color display, hydraulic brakes. Those are some definite upgrades. So if you're looking at bikes, does it have hydraulic brakes? Does it have a full suspension? Those are things you're going to look at when you're kind of comparing in this price range. So let's talk about that suspension. The front suspension works great. I'm a big fan. But the rear suspension, as is, it is incredibly stiff, right? So it's not going to be cushioning your ride a ton unless you're really doing some heavy off-road work or you're a heavier rider. Now, this thing will support up to 440 pounds. So yeah, it'll handle a load. And while I'm not tipping the scales there, I'm not moving that rear suspension very much. It is a rear hub motor and it is a speed sensor, right? So it doesn't have the advanced torque sensor, but this powerful 750 watt rear hub motor, it's brushless. It does a nice job. It has, they say, an 840 watt hour capacity battery, so that you're going to get around, you know, when this thing's got some zip. I believe it is 80 newton meters of torque that you're getting out of this thing. So solid motor and decent battery combo. I do really like the tires. I mentioned it before. They've got kind of an aggressive all-terrain look to them, and with that front suspension, those 26 by 4 inch all-terrain tires really kind of smooth out this ride, right? So sure, it's a mountain bike. Do you need to be going off-roading with this? No. I often use my mountain bike around town just because it's so gosh darn comfortable, right? So sure, take it off-road or just ride it around town. It is nice and smooth and fun to ride. So there are 5 pedal assist modes, right? And the lower the mode, the less that battery is going to help you. Now, if you have it in level 5, you can get up to 28 miles an hour. And it does say that you have about 60 miles of range, right? That is not in pedal assist 5. You're going to get closer to 15 or 20 miles in that top assist mode. It does have a backlit LCD display with USB charging, right? So it has a port on there. So if you bring a cord along, you can plug it in and charge your phone while you're going. It's bright enough to read in sunlight, and it will give you your speed, battery life, distance traveled, pedal assist level, and all the information that you're going to want while you're riding. The seat is comfortable, nothing special, but it's easy to move up and down, so it'll accommodate riders from 5'5", I think, to 6'6". I'm about 5'11", and I found this to be a comfortable ride. So I also have my son on this bike. He's about 5'5". He had no problems riding it. I feel like it looks a little big on him, but he insisted that it wasn't. And I have my brother-in-law. He rode it. He's maybe 6'2" or so, and he had no issues either, right? The seat is easy to move up and down to accommodate for different riders. It does have a nice bright 48-volt LED light in the front, so that is nice. It certainly helps if you ride at night and something you're going to want to help keep you safe. There is no rear tail light, but there is, of course, a rear reflector. I did add the optional fenders. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep them on there or not. They're okay. They're plastic. There's nothing special about them. They're easy to adjust. Maybe that's special. I don't know. This does have, like pretty much all e-bikes, a Shimano 7-speed shifter. I find that I almost never shift gears because, well, it's an e-bike and I just use the motor instead. But it does have that pedal assist, right? So if you keep it in a low pedal assist, or if you just want to use it as a bike, of course you're going to be shifting those gears. Now the throttle is a twist throttle, kind of more like a standard motorcycle. Some people enjoy that. That's kind of fun. So overall, this is a solid bike, a good deal, right? I like the look of it. I like the front suspension. I like the integrated battery in that down tube so you don't see it. It's not sticking out like some of them. I like the hydraulic brakes. Now, one caveat, I did have to do some adjusting on the front brakes, right? And that was kind of disappointing. I did reach out to Kingbull. They said that they do inspect their bikes, but, sometimes things sneak through. A couple of YouTube videos here and there, and certainly you'll be able to adjust your brakes. Now, hydraulic brakes do work a little differently than a cable brake, if you're not familiar with that. And I haven't done a lot of that myself, so I had to do a little research. But we did get the brake to where it needed to be. Kingbull also has some resources, some different articles, and even videos on their website to kind of help you should you have any problems. So make sure you check there first before you go diving around YouTube because they'll have some things that are very specific to their bikes that you may find helpful. So I like this bike. I'm not keeping it, though. I'm actually giving it to my father. It's going to be a gift for him, something that he can kind of ride around with and use. He's got some nice open land and some trails and things, and I think this will be a good bike for him to use, with that pedal assist and, the nice suspension, the big fat tires. It's a solid bike and definitely a good buy. Anyway, I hope this was helpful. If it was, give us a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. We got lots of content, e-bikes, drones, cameras, fun electronic stuff, 3D printers, all sorts of gadgets and gizmos. And we'd love to have you back on the channel. Good luck and happy riding.